Greetings from Iowa, which joined the Union on December 28, 1846, becoming the 29th state. Its population of nearly 3 million ranks it at number 30. If any state can claim to be the heartland of America, it's Iowa, a place where the people pride themselves on their old-fashioned family values.
We didn't have any allowance or...
Iowans are renowned for their common sense, a quality they bring to their governance.
Each township was self-governing, so the fact that neighbors got together and nominated and ran elections was a commonplace thing. It's only in the age of television that the caucuses become famous.
Another Iowa innovation was created in the small northern county that gave its name to the ultimate freedom machine, the Winnebago motorhome.
It's a fitting name because the Winnebagos were a group of Indians that moved around a lot. Iowans historically didn't travel a lot, but now do. We flood the southern part of the United States with our retirees in the wintertime.
Geographically, Iowa is unique. It's the only state whose full eastern and western borders are rivers, with the Missouri on one side and the Mississippi on the other. Every year, the Des Moines Register newspaper sponsors a huge bike ride, which goes across the state from river to river.
It takes 7 days, and every day you stop at a little town that may have 400 people, but suddenly there's 15,000 riders there, and they come from all over the world, and I've done it a bunch of times. Lance Armstrong did it last year, and you know, it's the one time of year where Iowa goes crazy.
Although Iowa is known today as one of the most fertile places on Earth, there was a time when people thought that its grasslands would never be productive.
Really, the opposite is true.
What the settlers found under the grassy prairie turned out to be some of the best soil on the North American continent. They also found the perfect climate for growing what was to become Iowa's #1 cash crop, corn. With an annual output of more than 2 billion bushels, Iowa is the nation's leading producer.
You could be driving with Iowa corn in your fuel tank in the car. You could be consuming it as food. You could be drinking the sweetener in the soft drinks. And you can also be using products made out of plastic that used to be Iowa corn stalks.
The farmlands and rolling hills here inspired a young Iowa artist to try and capture the spirit of the state on canvas. In the years following World War I, Grant Wood was struggling to define a style of painting that would become synonymous with Americana. In 1930, Wood created his masterpiece, one of the most reproduced and recognized paintings in the world. It's called American Gothic. Wood, born on a farm near the tiny town of Anamosa in 1891, painted overseas during most of the 1920s, he ultimately rejected the experimental styles of the European art movements. Later, he was said to have declared, "All the really good ideas I've ever had came to me while I was milking a cow, so I went back to Iowa."
Before that time, there really wasn't an American art form. We kind of followed Europe that, and Grant Wood tried that, and he decided that home was okay.
I think he really felt that there was something very special here in the Midwest, and he refused to go to New York or the other sort of art colonies and live there. He wanted to make his own in Iowa.
Wood worked in relative obscurity until he painted American Gothic in 1930.
The American Gothic painting models supposedly were his dentist and his sister. Without a doubt, it is his sister in it, Nan Wood Graham. For many years, the dentist denied that he was the model for it, but it does look just like him, so I think without a doubt it is.
American Gothic helped inspire a new school of art called American Regionalist. Wood, John Stuart Curry of Kansas, and Missouri's Thomas Hart Benton were its leaders. Grant Wood captured the real Iowa. Its farmers and its fields, its small towns, and the trains rolling through the countryside.
The sound of trains at night coming through Ottumwa, Iowa, where I'm from. The Des Moines River runs right through my hometown, and we have these bridges that if you stand on top, the sun goes down, and then the trains come, and you can hear the whistle, and you realize how great it is. You know, you're there.
Look here, I'm talking about America, sweet America.